The council chamber stretched endlessly above them, a cathedral of alien architecture where light bent in impossible ways. Kendall stood beside Roman, her hands clasped behind her back in a posture that suggested military discipline. Though her eyes betrayed something closer to defiance, the two humans were small figures against the vastness of the chamber, dwarfed by the 23 representatives of the Galactic Council, who loomed above them on their crystalline podiums. Roman felt the weight of 1,000 eyes, though only 46 actually observed them. The silence pressed down like a physical force. "You assaulted Earth," the Supreme Arbiter finally spoke, its voice resonating through translation nodes embedded in their neural implants. The creature Kendall had never learned its species name resembled something between a mantis and flowing water. "The Council can only stare, paralyzed, at what your kind has done." Kendall's jaw tightened. She'd expected this, had prepared for this moment during the 3-month journey to the Council's seat at the galaxy's core. Still, hearing the accusations spoken aloud sent ice through her veins. "Paralyzed," Roman said, his voice steady despite the tremor Kendall noticed in his fingers. "You're paralyzed by progress." A murmur rippled through the assembled delegates. Several shifted on their platforms, appendages moving in what the translation nodes interpreted as discomfort or shock. The Velthani representative of being of pure light, contained within a crystalline shell, pulsed with what might have been indignation. "You strip-mined mountains," another council member interjected, a creature whose name translated as "You poisoned your own atmosphere. You split the atom and turned it into weapons. You carved your world's surface with roads and cities, drowning the natural order in concrete and steel." "We survived," Kendall said simply. The chamber fell silent again. "You don't understand," Roman continued, stepping forward despite the energy barriers that hummed warningly. "Every species you've invited to the stars came from garden worlds, paradise planets where food fell from trees and predators were few. You evolved in harmony because harmony was easy, and this justifies your violence against your own world." The Supreme Arbiter's tone carried something that might have been genuine curiosity beneath the accusation. Kendall took a breath. She'd rehearsed this speech 100 times, but now, under the scrutiny of beings who had mastered faster than light travel before humanity discovered fire, the words felt fragile. "Earth tried to kill us," she began, "every single day. Ice ages that lasted millennia, volcanoes that blotted out the sun, predators with claws and teeth that could tear through flesh, diseases that wiped out entire populations, droughts, floods, earthquakes, hurricanes. Our world was a crucible, and we were forged in it. We didn't assault Earth," Roman added, his voice gaining strength. "We wrestled with it. We fought for every scrap of survival. When winter came and threatened to starve us, we learned to make fire. When predators hunted us, we learned to make weapons. When disease struck, we learned medicine. Every scar on our planet's surface is a testament to the fact that we refused to die." The Velthani representative pulsed again, this time with a different quality of light. "But you went too far. You are still going too far. Your industrial age poisoned your air and water. Your nuclear weapons could have rendered your world uninhabitable." "Yes," Kendall acknowledged, and her honesty seemed to surprise them. "We made mistakes, terrible ones. We're still making them. But we're also learning. Our carbon emissions peaked and are falling. We're restoring forests, cleaning oceans, protecting endangered species. The difference between us and you is that we had to learn the hard way. We didn't have the luxury of easy answers." Roman pulled up a holographic display, images flickering in the space between them and the council. "You asked us here because in the 50 years since we achieved FTL travel, we've accomplished what takes most species 500. You want to know how? This is how." The images showed humanity's history, cave paintings and crude tools, then agriculture, cities, the Industrial Revolution, computers, genetic engineering, quantum mechanics, each advancement built on the last, each solution creating new problems that demanded new solutions. "You're afraid of us," Kendall said quietly, and the council did not contradict her. "You've had peace for 10,000 years because you all came from worlds that taught you cooperation. But look around the galaxy. How many species have you encountered that came from death worlds like Earth? How many civilizations learned to split the atom because if they didn't, their enemies would do it first?" "None," the Supreme Arbiter admitted. "We are dangerous," Roman agreed, "but not because we assaulted Earth. We're dangerous because Earth assaulted us first, and we survived. We learned to adapt faster, innovate quicker, and push harder than any species you've encountered. That same drive that let us conquer our world now propels us into the stars." Kendall stepped forward, meeting what passed for the Supreme Arbiter's gaze. "You can exclude us from the Galactic Council if you want. You can try to quarantine us in our corner of space, but you can't stop what's already begun. Humanity will continue to reach, to build, to explore because that's what we had to become to survive." And, Roman added with a slight smile, "when the next existential threat arrives, and it will, because the universe is no kinder than Earth ever was, you'll be grateful that someone in the galaxy knows how to fight." The council remained silent, but Kendall noticed something shift in the quality of that silence. It was no longer the silence of judgment, but of consideration. of recognition, perhaps even of hope. The Supreme Arbiter's form rippled like water disturbed by an unseen wind. The council will deliberate. As Kendall and Roman were escorted from the chamber, she allowed herself a small smile. They hadn't won, not yet, but they'd made the galaxy understand something crucial. Humanity's scars weren't signs of savagery, but of survival. And in a universe full of unknowns, survival was the most valuable currency of all.